Guys, welcome. Oh, wait, I'm facing the wrong way. I'm showing you guys where I live. So I hope you guys enjoyed that shot. And now we're going to roll this beautiful footage of my hat. So, anyway, welcome to this episode of Jack's Business Talk. Has the economy affected you? Interest rates are interest rates are cut, Curtis. Interest rates are cut. Let's see how it has affected the markets on the two furthest points of the country.
Yeah, they say cut, and then the day the Fed actually did the cut, the rate went up, which surprised some people that don't understand how things work.
I think it surprised anyone who doesn't listen to like ORAT and is involved in real estate because even like if you watched it, Zuber was talking about how for like I think it was like less than 6 hours they actually went down, but then Powell spoke and they shot up.
Hmm.
So and what people don't realize is the banks build in these interest rates well in advance, anticipating a cut or a raise. So I kind of feel like we're just beating a dead horse, but we're going to do our effort in promoting the fact that we were right and they are wrong.
Yeah, so what have you been seeing in your local market here, like lately, be it the past few weeks, the past month?
So what I'm seeing is people are all excited. They're like, "Yay!" and they're starting to look at houses more from the real estate agents I talk to, but no one like they get all excited. They put an offer in, and then they talk to the lender, and then nothing really happens.
Mm.
So I
And
almost feel like there's almost a problem with the lenders communicating to the buyers ahead of time because what I'm seeing is people are thinking, oh, the interest rate's cut, so we can buy a more expensive house. Realize, and then here's the thing that blows my mind: it's only costing them in this area like anywhere from like 20 to like maybe $100 a month more,
mm.
and that's enough for them to be like, oh no, interest rate is up, I can't buy this house.
Oh wow. Yeah, for us, it swings definitely a little bit more just because our price points are a little bit higher. Like, what's a single family house go for in your area?
It depends on what you want to live in. So I'll give you a prime example. Something I would buy for myself. We're probably talking about, not my dream house, but like just something I would buy to live in this stage of life would probably run between 150 and 220. But at the same time, I'm not your normal person, and you're a friend of mine. And, wow, my water's really vibrating crazily down in that cup holder. Um, and since you're my friend, I took a page or two out of your book. I would totally house hack that and live for free.
Yeah.
Um, But I would say probably 220, two car garage, probably two-story house, three bedroom, two bath, something like that. And I'd be happy with that. But you can buy houses still in this area for like under 100,000. And friends of ours, they just bought a house for I can't remember the exact number, but let's just say it was somewhere between 1.8 and 1.9 million.
Mm.
So like there's some expensive frou-frou houses.
That is very expensive for houses. So, but on average, it sounds like it's a lower price point.
I think the average mean in the area is like 275.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Don't hold me to that. That's just what I think.
Yeah. So at those numbers, interest rates impacted, but like you said, maybe their payment goes up $50 or a hundred something dollars. Well, over in my county, Pierce County, uh, the median price point is 575, and then the average is about 46, and that's just because there's some nicer areas where it's not uncommon to see that $1 million type house, right? So it kind of brings the average up. But for
You're
those
gonna buy yourself a
people,
penthouse.
yeah, yeah. But for those people, the interest rate does affect their payment slightly more. But even with that said, there's a lot of people that either won't talk to the lender that I want them to, or get pre-qualified through like Rocket Mortgage or some bank that gives them like a range, but they're not pre-approved, and so they don't know exactly what they can get, right? So that's some of the issues that we're seeing over here is kind of not understanding what the real expectation should be,
Hmm.
and yeah, and and then not understanding that there's a lot of different loan programs, right? So they're like, oh, I'm gonna wait for interest rates. I'm like, okay, well, if you really believe that, let's lock in the price now and then do like a 2-1 buy down. So by the time rates are down, you can and refinance if that's what you believe.
Yeah.
But they're not, but they don't really, I'm not sure if they're not understanding that. So maybe me and the lender need to do a better job of communicating, or maybe they don't really believe that and I just call them out on it.
I think the thing is, okay. I think the thing is people are thinking that there's only one way to buy homes. Okay, I'm kind of paraphrasing Pace Morby here, and because he does sub two deals, okay, and he was talking about how you have to break them out of their air that thing, and that mindset of like you have to go conventional. There's only these types of products, and you kind of have to do the same thing that Pace Morby was talking about in that instance, where you have to explain what is going on. You can do this type of funding and all that kind of stuff, and that there's more options than just the three that are talked about the most.
Yeah. Yeah, they have to be open-minded enough to kind of hear that. Yeah.
Because even when you say conventional, like most people think, oh, well, that's 20% down, not realizing, no, there's a 5% option too.
hmm And there's like a basically like a homestead one where they'll help fund the rehab.
Oh, really?
hmm hmm It's kind of like the FHA 203K loan,
Yeah.
but it's called something else. Um, but yeah, and so folks, I'm not sure if they're closed-minded or just I'm not really sure on why they're not open to hearing the different ideas. It is uncomfortable to learn something new though.
I think it's uncomfortable to learn something new, and I think they aren't necessarily so closed-minded, but just more of stuck in their ways. They're
hmm
like, well, this is how my granddaddy did it, and this is how my parents did it, and this is how all my friends did it. So this is how I'm going to do it. And it's just like, okay, well, to quote Robert Kiyosaki, you're using the same blunt, dull, rusty axe, and you have a chainsaw sitting next to you.
Mm. I actually haven't heard of that. I haven't heard of that one. I like that phrase though. I'm actually gonna write that one down. Yeah, are things are properties sitting longer where you're at too, or
I don't think it's really changed. Like when I was talking to a real estate agent, one said that his property is sitting 15 days longer, and another one was saying that his property sold a week quicker. So I would say talking, and the other three I talked to are kind of more status quo. So I would
Mhm.
just say that things are about the same.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, and I think the numbers are skewed a little bit too because I looked on days on market in my area, and because I had a feeling that they were up, right? But I was like, okay, well, I
Hmm.
don't really I want to base it on feelings here. So I looked, and they are up, However, 2024 was like a big drop off comparatively to other years, right? So
Hmm.
yes, things are up, but it's not too far off from the past 10 years.
Hmm.
And so, and I'm not sure if it's the COVID stuff, although that was about 4 or 5 years ago now. Um, but I think people need to adjust their expectations. Like zoom out. I think we're so zoomed in.
Yeah.
Oh, the stats are up. Okay, we'll zoom out. Oh, now the stats look more normal.
Well, I think the other thing is too, and I kind of blame. Are you still considered a millennial or
I think I am elder Gen Z. Yeah.
okay? But I kind of blame our generations a little bit for this, where it's like they grew up in an area of life where mortgage rates were like less than 5% for most of it, and they're like, well, that's the norm. It's just like, and like you were just saying, they're so zoomed in and fixated. That's all that we knew. It's like, no, if you look from like back from the 50s to today, the average is actually like in the sevens.
Hmm.
But everyone's so fixated on I'm not going to budge until it's at least 5.5. So that way I can refine. That way it's not as bad as a hit, and I can refinance when it hits a three. We may never see threes again.
Hmm. Yeah, I think people need to play around with the filters, change whatever time span that they're seeing, right? Don't look at it month on month, maybe not even year by year, but zoom the years out so you can actually see the trend, like the trend line.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, yeah,
Oh, I'll just say, yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think everyone's just too fixated on the here and the now, and they're not taking a realistic snapshot of I don't let my hair dry out, and just not taking a realistic visualization of the whole thing because there's a lot like housing's been like people are looking at it either based on the last 10 years or their lifetime that they what they can remember, and it's like, okay, well, housing's been around for I don't know, I think pretty sure that housing has been around since um well, since forever, because like one of your basic needs is food, water, shelter. So I'm pretty sure some form of housing was way back in the Stone Age.
yeah, yeah. And it's crazy when you look at like I'll just use price because that's the easiest one. But when you look at price here in my area, folks are like, "Oh, I'll wait for it to go down." I'm like, "Okay, yeah, there are dips, but zoom out. It's basically a straight line going from zero, and it's just keep on it keeps on going." And I'm like, "Okay, are you going to catch the wave, or are you going to wait for the line to keep going up more?"
And the other thing is too, like people are talking about the interest rates, and they don't realize that the moment that the rates drop is a moment that everyone's going to come off the sidelines, and the house rates or the house prices is what I meant to say are going to skyrocket.
Hmm.
And you're now going to pay a lot more than if you would just bought with a higher rate.
Yeah. Do you know the if interest rates drop a percent, do you know how much buying power a person gets more?
I used to know this off the top of my head. I believe if they drop, you're probably going to correct me, but I believe if it drops a percentage, it's like about $100. I think you save on your monthly mortgage.
Yeah, or I was thinking the total purchase price. So that goes up about 10%.
Okay,
So for some people that unlocks a whole new area.
yeah,
And so I think when people are like, "Oh, I'll wait for the rates to drop," okay, and let's say that they do drop a lot, right? And you're super excited. Well, now everyone else is not only coming to the market, right? Because they've all been waiting too. Not only is there more people in the market, they can all spend more now.
Hmm.
And so now it's like,
Yes.
okay, well, we'll look at the double whammy that you have. Not only is there more competition, the competition is arguably stronger.
Yeah. Yeah. So instead of you being able to go out and buy a $250,000 house, you'd be like, yeah, I could buy a 275, but like, look at all these people that are now competing with you too.
Hmm. Yeah, you're not only competing with the people that wanted a house at that price from the get-go, now you're competing with everyone that can now also afford that same house. And so it's just like people, do you want an easier time or a harder time?
Yeah. They like to suffer. Th-
Yeah, and intentionally or not. Yes.
they feel like they're achieving more by working harder when they could have had an easier journey by just listening to wise their wise influential exterior their wise council of consultants that they surround themselves by.
Yeah, and so I'm not really sure, but I'm excited to have more of these conversations. Past 2 weeks, I've had things pop up, so I haven't done open houses, so my conversations have kind of gone down. But this coming week, I plan to do 3 or 4 days of open houses where I kind of get
Ooh.
more interaction with the uh, everyday people that aren't in the industry, and so I'm very excited to see kind of what their thoughts are now that rates have gone down.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't think people realize that either, is that it's not based upon what the Fed does. It's based upon a goofy formula and how the country foresees the 10-year note and how the rest of the world sees the US, and that all impacts the 10-year note. And that's really what the mortgages are based off of.
Hmm. Yeah, but to try to have that TED talk when someone just meets you is kind of a tough go. And so it's like, how do you balance educating them and listening to them at the same time without
You take them to a bar, you get them drunk, and whenever Freebird comes on or Journey, that's when you break it out to them.
that's when you break it out. Nice. Oh, jeez. But so what else is happening in your world?
Not a whole lot, just hiding, drinking coffee. How about yourself? You, you got your real estate license, you're working,
Yep,
you're being a
yep.
school teacher, you're being awesome.
Yeah, so the school year start kind of kicked my butt at the beginning, and like my stress was high because I was learning on how to manage like my time, and then I got sick. That's why I kind of had to take a pause on the open house. No one wants to show up and meet someone that's all stuffy and sick, right? And so I kind of took a little pause on that one, but I'm feeling better.
I
So
would just call you snoozles.
So I'll be back to that next week. But no, but things are going well. I'm helping with events in the area, kind of connecting people. And so yeah, things are kind of just going well. Just trying to get that first transaction as like an agent. And so um that's part of the journey.
Let's talk about the Tacoma FI meetup that, that
Hmm.
you that you guys do. Uh, if someone's in the area, you know, you want to tell them like where to go and stuff?
Yeah, I can pull it up on my calendar because it's actually coming up here soon. Matter of fact, it's going to be Monday at 6 p.m. If you message me, I will send you the address because it's at a restaurant, and it's nice because we meet there. There's anywhere between 6 to 15 people, just kind of depending on the week or the, the month. And there's no like formal thing. Dion, he doesn't go up on stage and try to sell his book. We all kind of just sit and chat about what's happening, where we've been, where we are, where we're trying to go. We all kind of exchange numbers, and so that way, if you're looking for a contractor, boom, someone in the group has one, right?
Yeah.
And so it's kind of a great social group that you can kind of lean on for help, and everyone always just kind of gives and gives and gives.
I know if I was in the area, I would totally go.
Yeah, it is so awesome, and you get everyone from Dion or Justin Cambra, both financially free, all the way to someone like me that's kind of like been in the journey a couple years, and then you get brand new folks that don't even know what cash on cash return is, right? And so
Yeah.
you get the full spectrum, and I think that's really cool. No one's trying to sell any, anything or puff out their chest and say, "Look at me." It's a really good community.
Yeah, I can't justify it since I have to get on a plane and fly across the country, but if it wasn't for that, I would totally go.
Yeah, that would be a bit much. And then I also help with other events in the area too. Like this past week, I went to we call it Wall Re. It's Washington Real Estate Investing. It's the
Hmm.
biggest investing group on Facebook in Washington. There's over 20,000 people, and we held an event, and we had it was all about debt. So there was three like lenders there, one person that did conventional, and then the other two were kind of like hard money folks. And then there was people that have used hard money and all sort of creative financing, and all the event was talking about debt. So the first hour was kind of a networking thing, like people are getting checked in, they're all chit-chatting it up, there's food and drink. And then there was about 90 minutes of, or maybe an hour of the speakers, them talking, doing Q&A, and then the last hour was for networking too. And so while that's kind of unique to our area, that large of a group, I'm sure there's networking groups all around the country that people can kind of go to. I know we've talked and you said your networking groups aren't as great over there in Pittsburgh, but you kind of do virtual networking, it seems like, with agents and other investors that invest in your area but just don't live there.
Yeah, so if you're interested in joining one of our Zoom or meetups, um, I try to keep it with ORAP members. So if you're not already an ORAP member, join the school community. Look on Thursdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's a link. It says Western PA Meetup. Click it, and you get to see this big, bright, beautiful face on the camera right now, and probably hiding behind something, probably hiding behind something like this. But you get the picture.
That's awesome. And so if people hop on there, what can they kind of expect to see or hear?
So we just finished up the Pittsburgh event, okay, and they're still talking about that. They had a really good time. They learned a lot about the area. They're kind of splitting between a couple of different markets, and they're now looking at deals in the or deals that they're thinking about purchasing and stuff now that they've been to the area and they have experienced the area. So that's where they're at. They're talking to lenders. They're setting up their buy boxes. Next week, on Thursday, Harrison Trade Better 99, he's going to be hosting, but I'm going to be on shortly because I have to go to work that night. But I'll be on for a little bit to present the 10 things I would look for in a house. And I might actually cut that out and make it its own separate video.
Hmm.
But Yeah, it's gonna be. Plus, everyone's gonna present present. I think it's three houses that they ran the numbers on,
Oh, nice. Okay, okay.
and why it is or isn't a good deal.
That's awesome. So you guys are practicing um, deal analysis. You're sharing tools and tips. That's awesome. Now, if someone's like me and has a what do they call it? Oh yeah, a, something that kills your dream, a job, and they can't
Oh,
make it.
I thought you were gonna say a girlfriend.
Well, anyways, if someone has a job and they're like, "Hey, I can't make this time," are they recorded? Do they just contact you for notes? How can they still access that awesome information?
So the videos, what we started doing, and we got the idea from Jared. Was it the guy that does
Yeah, REI Jared,
yeah
he does rent by the room.
yeah, we kind of got the idea from him. He was talking about reasons why he wanted to start doing his non-recorded.
Hmm.
So what we started doing is we feel like the information is too rich and good to just keep it to ourselves. So we're still going to do recordings, but the recordings are going to be cut off at like right about an hour mark because no
Hmm.
one's watching that long anyway. So we're going to cut them off at about an hour, and then the last 30 minutes is going to be the the deep dive stuff where we actually seriously talk about numbers and we talk about things that just we just don't want on the air.
Is it like the gray area sketchy stuff?
The gray, airy, sketchy stuff, the painting the ceiling black. Oh, so here, I was you're a real estate investor. My question of the day yesterday, I was asking everyone at work. I'm going to ask you this. If you were going to paint yourself a nice an office, like your dream office, you visualize your dream office.
Hmm.
What colors would it be?
Ooh, what color would it be? Um, it would be a rich color, I believe. It'd be. I've seen offices that I'm like, ooh, okay, I would like that. And there's kind of three that I'm leaning. I wouldn't use all three though. Okay, so don't think I'm crazy over here. But
Yeah,
be one of these. It'd be like a burgundy red,
yeah.
like a olive green, or like a black and gold type of deal.
I don't like the black and gold.
Uh, Really?
I'm in Pittsburgh, so like every single
Oh,
sports team's black and gold, and it's like I'm just over that combo.
you're just over the combo. Okay, fair enough.
But I like the other one. Actually, so my favorite one, I had this idea for a long time, but Beth Traverso kind of like put it together almost exactly what I was thinking. If you
Hmm.
ever look at her office, it's like a dark purple. I would just change that to maroon, which is almost the same color, really.
Hmm.
It's just a reddish purple. Change that to maroon. She has like dark stained wood for shelves and like the black like the almost like the black iron like gas pipe looking stuff
Hmm.
as the holders and stuff. And I was like, that is so cool. That's so awesome. And she has like some brick showing too. I was like,
Oh.
the only thing it's missing is I would for myself in the background. You know how like everyone shows like custom lighting, be like, it's purple, and it's like, dude, you just threw a light bar in the back. I would get some of those gas pipes, okay, those, and I would run an electrical line through it. There's no gas in it.
Yeah, yeah,
I just want to say that for YouTube land. There's no
yeah.
gas in it, obviously. I would connect. I would connect the gas, just a big thick, you know, thing, paint it black so it looks like that, and I'd run an electric line through it, and I would have make these lights now that look like the old lamp lights that run off of like gas or oil,
Mm.
and I would have a few of those so like as I'm videoing, you can see them like flickering and stuff.
Hmm. Oh, that yeah, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, I like steampunk. So like it's kind of like being practical with it without going like completely. Oh, and I have a clock that has gears. I
Mm.
would stick that up there too.
Oh yeah, that'd fit right in with the whole vibe.
Yeah.
Hmm. That that's awesome. So, Jack, if people want to get a hold of you or join the group, how do they do so?
Best way to do it is honestly the best way to do it is by joining school. Get a hold of me. It message me in the ORAT school community. Which so not to go off topic, but we're gonna go off topic for a second. We may be creating a Western PA investment school community because it's just it there's a lot of stuff that we need to talk about that there's no way for us to share, and like even like certain videos have been cut for YouTube and I can't figure out how to share them with a password. So all that stuff is going to go on the school community, and if you want to see that, I'll keep you guys posted on when that goes live, but I'm seriously thinking about doing that in addition. But for right now, join ORAT, $20 a month, 67 cents a day. Awesomeness. You get to meet people like Curtis here. You get to meet a-holes like myself. And, you can message me in there. You can join our weekly call. How about you?
Yeah, I am also in school. I'm not as active as you are, so kudos to you there. If people want to get a hold of me, it's probably best to just DM me on Facebook or on Instagram, PE turned RE. I'm pretty quick to respond as long as I'm not teaching a class. But as soon as I'm done with that, I'll check my phone and I'll get back to you.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much. And thank you for watching this episode of PE turned RE and Jack's Business Talk.
Perfect, right there at the half hour.